Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. I heard Rucka Rucka talking about Christopher Hitchens with Charles II on one of their videos, and it shocked me to think that there is a generation coming about now that doesn't know of Hitchens. Now, I had just gotten everybody whipped up about Hitchens. I remember at the Junta in 2008, I said, so everybody, Hitchens, everybody, a bit of Hitchens, yeah? Nobody, and all the objectivists knew nothing about it. I said, listen, you sons of bitches, and I got them on Hitchens, some of them anyway. Horvey never got into him. He said, well, he's a leftist, you know, what do I care? True, Hitchens was a leftist. He was a socialist. He moved from the left, he moved over to the right. At the end of his life, he was just biting his tongue, trying not to say that he had gone full-fledged right capitalist freedom, but he had gone all the way over there. And he was doing things like criticizing the fact that there was a central bank in the United States. So he had gone really far. He was more of a hobnobby, intellectual British type than, what shall I say, what kind of an intellectual do I give? Oh, I could do Sam Harris, right? He was more of a stuffy British than a Sam Harris American, sort of American, let's do all this. He was sort of British, like, well, let's go have some dinner and I'll, recite some poetry and impress you. He was less concerned with getting everything done and telling everybody the way it should be, and more concerned with sounding good at the next speech he gave. But, if I wish he would have expanded his horizons a bit more. But here's what we have to admire about Christopher Hitchens, and here's why you should go watch his videos and familiarize yourself with him. We all are, jealous or envious in the best possible way of his ability to keep a crowd enthralled with his speech. His anecdotes that he brings up, his cadence of speech, perhaps. Maybe it's his accent, but maybe not, right? Because he seems to be a pretty well-liked speaker. Whether or not, maybe it's his accent, I don't know, maybe. But I have to say, I've heard guys with accents like that are socialists, and they're not that good. So it's not his accent, is it? There's something about the way he speaks, his cadence. He's stuck up, he's snobby, he's just smart enough, and occasionally hits a low note with a bad joke or a dirty joke. He keeps the high and the low notes. He's a great speaker, and we have to learn from him and admire him, even if we don't emulate him. That's the value of Christopher Hitchens. A great thinker? No. A great speaker. A guy who could command his audience, get his point across, humiliate his opponents. Let me give you one of my favorite Hitchen-isms. They said, what's the purpose of life? And I went, oh, come on, because we got Ayn Rand, I've got Aristotle, I can pull out Aristotle, we can give you the purpose of life, right? It's happiness. What does Hitchens say is the purpose of life? He says, some good strawberries, a glass of wine, and then it's a clear run to the grave. He actually mentioned maybe, procreation, and taking part in the activities that can lead to procreation. And then after that, it's a good run to the grave. So, and his view of life itself, how's this for his view of life? We are brought into this world as if shot from our mother's womb, from a cannon, towards a barn door studded with nails. Right? Pessimistic, right? View of life. But it negates this sort of pony fantasy rainbow world that a lot of people live in, that life has got to be, everyone's got to have everything free and we can never struggle. He says, oh, the struggle's real. In fact, that's all it is. And then at the end, it's splat. So you better get real, kid. Right? So that's Hitch. And yes, please familiarize yourself with him. All these new kids need to know about him the way that we need to know about William F. Buckley. Right, and Leonard Peikoff, right? So, and Ayn Rand, obviously. But Hitchens, not a great thinker, however, utterly masterful orator and speaker and debater.